people nobody wants around. You know, but they are not only smart, but they are essential for us to do a lot of things. So I chose to speak after the very eroded and eloquent submission of our keynote speaker. And because I don't want his thought and the words he's leaving us with to be lost on me. So I don't want to lose it. So I want to quickly say my own so that you see that his own is a whole lot better than mine. But you can see that it's really a pleasure for me to be here with you today. You started yesterday, and it's important that I come and validate and assure you that this tax reform summit, which is being jointly organized by the Office of the Special Advisor on Taxation and Revenue and the State Treasury Office, has our full backing. And it's timely and it's important for us like any other thing we do. So let's give them a round of applause. And so I want to commend the organizers that has provided this strategic platform at a time when our country is undertaking far-reaching reforms, which is aimed at repositioning our tax system for efficiency, for equity, and for growth. The gathering, therefore, it's both timely and it's consequential. And I think our guest speaker has said a lot, that we can also, learn from. Lagos State operates within a national fiscal framework, and we are fully aligned with the ongoing tax reform agenda of our dear President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who seeks to simplify Nigeria's tax laws, to reduce its multiplicity, its plan to strengthen administration and modernize revenue collection through technology and data gathering. We believe these reforms are designed at the end of the day to create a system that will support strong economic growth while ensuring that there's fairness, there's a lot of predictability, and there is improved compliance. And I think the guest speaker said it. When we have a nation that is the largest nation on the continent, and we have only 17% of our people freely willing to participate in their civic responsibility, we have a challenge. In developed nations, and we know the countries we're talking about, they say that apart from sanctity of life, which God has given you, the only next thing that is certain is tax. You all know. But all of you here are the converts already, because you're all practitioners and you're all professionals. So for us is how do we take this conversation forward? How do we stand individually and collectively as that change agent, as that cheerleader that can further explain what the issues are? They say that you cannot eat an omelette if you don't break the egg. We want to eat our egg. Huh? Or we want to eat the omelette and we don't want to break it, we just want to swallow it. And they've seen it, I've said that if only 17%, the remaining 83% would rather do anything, including bribe, including to circumvent, including to under-declare, including to do, just so that they don't do it. But we all want the bridges. We all want the good schools. We all want the roads to be well-tied. We all want security. And we want to eat the omelette. So you can see that we have a job and we have a big job to do. But the only thing that the guest speaker had said is that we are younger, so we will not be higher than the federal. Abi? It's not that they are looking at us, we are actually looking at them so that we conform and we work within the rules. And so you could see that critics have said that this reform will put more burden on the poor when it's only 17%. Hello? When it's only 17%. And they say it will further enrich the rich. This certainly is not true. It's actually on the contrary. We believe this reform will protect small businesses. It will ensure that the rich and the comfortable, they fulfill their full obligation to the society. It will ensure that we can block leakages, we can expand our tax net. And so I advise that we read the details of these bold reforms that can only be an audacious and a confident, experienced leader like our president who has made this. And so I give kudos to Mr. President for taking these steps, considering the fact that pains are gradually giving way for the gains. And so we want to stand with him, we want to encourage him, we want to say that that's the best way to go. And for us as a government, we want to commend the Presidential Task Force. We want to say that we've started this journey with you in the last 2 years, and we believe this is, at the minimum, this is what we should be doing for our country. There's no other way in which for us to do the catch-up. And so for us as Lagos, in this state, the national reforms resonate deeply with our own long-standing approach to public finance. As Nigeria's commercial nerve center and Africa's fastest growing megacity, Lagos faces unique developmental pressure that demands sustainable, internally driven revenue solutions. When we were building, and federal government was helping us to build the coastal road, we thought that when we would finish the coastal road, there won't be traffic again on Lekki Expressway. Is that not so? We have seen that even when the road has not been fully completed, we have stretched of the roads already. There's traffic, there's traffic. So you see that we need to do twice as much, twice as fast to do the catch-up. And so it's not any saying that we needed it like yesterday, but we need to do it twice, quicker, faster. Lagosians have already, they've dealt with the roads already. The traffic has piled up. It has piled up almost immediately. So you can see that we all have a job to do. But we're happy that, almost 70% of our own IGR, are all internal, which reflects our years of deliberate investment in institutional reforms, in digitalization, and tax payment engagement. And the guest speaker, and also think the special, everybody are mentioning, and that's also why my bro, where the what they call people that conduct moderator Wasiu is data himself. Data. We need it. And I think it's also the PAMSEC that said it, it's of no use if we also cannot now process that data, or we're not sharing enough of it for it to be available to the needed people. That's the only way LRS can work. Once we have the real clean data, and the guest speaker said it, it helps us to plan, it helps us to build, and we can share it in an efficient and in a way and manner where the people that needed it the most have access to it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the federal government advancing reforms to harmonize tax laws, to strengthen VAT administration, will improve coordination across all tiers of government and separate tax policies from administration. I'm happy indeed that some of our local governments are here and that we're not just talking above their head. We're indeed doing this together, understanding and appreciating that they are an important layer of government, the third tier of government, and we need to be able to do it together. Fees and levies and all of these things, people complain, multiple taxes. It's only when we're all in this together and we sit and we'll iron it out, we will do this thing even better and faster. Understanding that we're all, working collaboratively. And so Lagos State is positioning itself as a leading subnational in the implementation of all of these reforms. Our focus, therefore, is not merely compliance with new frameworks, but for an effective execution that will deliver real value for our citizens and our businesses. This is why this summit is important. Lagos implementation roadmap, as the topic, is particularly significant. We believe these signals our readiness to move beyond policy conversation to practical implementation. And so that's why I want to quickly leave this place so that you as professionals, you can go into real practical implementation. How and what you need to do. What are the T's we need to cross and the I's to dot. Lagos tax reform is being approached as a governance reform. We believe it's anchored on simplicity, it will be anchored on transparency, it will be anchored on digital efficiency, and more importantly, it will be anchored on fairness. The civic participant taxation, they say, is ultimately a social contract. And if anything, let us live here with that. It's a social contract. It's one of the strongest things that define you as a human being. It's simple, but it's very profound. It's one of the things that should stand you to even be able to dignify yourself as a citizen of a state. And so, I'm believing that people comply willingly when they trust that government is responsible. So it's a twin contract. When government is responsible, when government is accountable, and when government is responsive. And you can cut us some little slacks, or what's the English now? We've demonstrated to you over and over again that if we make more money, if we can get more money, we will do a lot more for our state. We'll do a lot more in social investment, in the things that will bring about economic development in this state. Year on year, we are not wasting resources. We try and push and implement 90% and plus on our budget numbers. And each year, capital expenditure far outstrip our recurrent. Even some of the recurrent, we are still even arguing, should it be quasi-capital in nature or not? Because that's what will build economic value and will give prosperity to our people. Dear Speaker, our next year's budget is on shared prosperity. Guess what? Federal government also borrowed our words, but it's okay. And so the Lagos State tax revenues will continually be pushed into transport infrastructure, will be committed to healthcare delivery, education, security, environmental resilience and challenges, and it will be targeted at social protection programs that will align under our TIPS Plus agenda. As national reform places greater emphasis on consumption-based taxation, data integration, and tax protection, Lagos is strengthening its system to ensure ease of compliance, to ensure effective dispute resolution, and predictability tax environment that encourages investment and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe the success of Nigeria's tax reform journey will depend not only on legislation at the federal level, but on effective implementation at the state level. And I think the guest speaker re-emphasized that much. No matter how well it is done at the federal, it is effective implementation at the sub-national that will make it a lot easy to implement. And so Lagos State is ready to play its role, we dare say a leadership role, by aligning policy with practice, strengthening our intergovernmental collaboration, which was also a word that everybody has used. Partnership and collaboration is important, and maintaining a continuous engagement with the private sector and professional bodies. All of you are here, professional bodies, private sector. This is another level of engagement. We need to speak out, we need to speak up. We need to continually refresh ourselves. This summit must therefore produce clear, practical outcomes that support national reform's objective while reflecting on the economic reality of our state. I want to therefore assure all our stakeholders that Lagos State remains committed to a fair, transparent, and growth-friendly tax system that supports sustainable development and shared prosperity. Those words again. Chairman LIRS is one of the most friendly person that I know, right? And he knows that he has to continually meet his targets. Let's give him a round of applause. I think he's making The only unfortunate thing is next year target gets doubled, and it has to meet it. Together, we believe we can build a tax system that works for government, that will work for businesses, and certainly will work for its citizens. It's a pleasure to therefore formally declare open this tax reform from the Office of Special Advisor and the Ministry of Finance. Thank you very much.